P0420 and 430, the dreaded CAT efficiency codes. This one is an LX470. For some reason, these I've seen bad CATs anywhere from 150K on up. I don't know why this specific one, the 2UZ, goes bad more often, but here you see the pipe, the end of the pipe, there's two bolts, and then here's the CAT that's kind of integrated in the pipe. And then under the shield you have, goes right to the manifold or the header, and then you have three nuts. So it's very easy to swap out. The problem is they're about $1,300 a piece, and you don't want to go aftermarket. So in this video I'm going to show you how to beat this code, how to resolve it, and some common pitfalls and issues. But we're going to use Techstream, the factory software, to diagnose exactly what's wrong, because a lot of people say, oh, replace the rear O2 sensor, replace the front O2 sensor, without doing any testing, any diagnosis. So we're gonna get rid of that and get right to how to diagnose this correctly. So there's a few different things you can do to resolve the P0420, P0430 codes. The first is you can just simply reset it, because it comes on every couple weeks sporadically. Sometimes it just means the efficiency of the CAT has dropped below a certain threshold, and typically that's because of carbon buildup or other buildup on top of the CAT. So you can make the argument, if you baby the car a lot and not really get on it or floor it or have any heavy acceleration, that might accelerate these codes. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. The second thing you can do, which I don't recommend, is go buy an aftermarket CAT. They're only a couple $100, but a lot of people report that it doesn't fix the problem. So unfortunately, I can't recommend doing that. The third option is what we're going to do today. We're going to try the Liqui Moly Catalytic System Clean. This goes in the gas tank when you have low fuel, and then you just rip on the car for a bit. And this is supposed to clear out any stuff that's before the CAT. And a lot of people had success with this specific one. I like Liqui Moly, so we're gonna give it a shot. And if that doesn't work, we're gonna have to replace the CAT. But keep in mind, you can sell your old CATs for a decent amount of money and recoup the cost of the new one. So all in all, you know, it's not too big of a repair, it's not too labor intensive, the part's not that much, and it's pretty, you know, simple to replace. So first thing we'll do, I'm going to get into Techstream and show you exactly the diagrams and the menus to use to 100% say the CAT is bad or the CAT is not bad. Alright, so we have the car running, we're in Techstream, we're going to connect to the vehicle. And if you're one of those people that say, well, I replaced my O2 sensor and it fixed the problem, well, congratulations, but that's just throwing guesses and parts into a problem. So this is what Toyota says to do. This is what the technicians do. This is kind of the process. GTS having problems, of course, like usual. Sometimes you have to just close out of everything and relog in. Okay, I got Techstream connected to the car, or GTS Plus, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to go to engine, I believe, and that's going to give us, so system check, engine ECT. Okay, so here we are connected, engine ECT, active test. Now in utility, you'll find this O2 sensor operation, that checks your rear O2s basically, but active test is what you really want. So air fuel control, and it's going to allow you to go to negative 12% fuel or positive 25% fuel instantly. What is that going to do? It's going to show the responsiveness of our O2 sensors, show you if one has failed, one is lagging or delayed. So what we need to do is go to graph mode down here, and we're going to want O2, bank 1 sensor 1, bank 1 sensor 2, bank 2 sensor 1, bank 2 sensor 2. Now highlighting these, when you go to this graph, it's going to show them up here. So you can do this while you're driving, while you're idling, whatever. This is how you kind of data log stuff. So now we're at 25% fuel. Now we're at minus 12. So when you go to minus 12, all of these should basically flatline because it's so lean. That's kind of what, again, in the diagram or the technical manual, it shows you if you go to 12.5, your O2 should flatline. If you have a delay, if one is still rich up here, that could be cause of concern, because that would lead you to believe there's a bad O2 sensor. Now watch what happens when we hit the 25%. All 4 of the O2 sensors are going to immediately respond and increase. So the procedure says if this happens, your O2 sensors are good. Replace the cat converter. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're just wasting your time and money if you think a new O2 sensor is going to improve your cat efficiency. So that's it. Now, like I said before, the only thing you can do is try to burn off some of that soot and carbon that's not clogging the cat, but it's just kind of bunched up, you know, in between the header and the top of the cat. It hasn't burned through the cat, so there's a delay in your readings before the cat and after the cat. That's kind of the most simple terms I can say about the process and how that works and how the ECU detects it. So what I'm going to do now is put that bottle in, and we're just going to go floor it for a while. We're going to go down the road, go on the highway, and get those cats super hot, and hopefully it burns off some of that soot and eliminates or greatly reduces the frequency of the light. And you know, with that said, your catalyst will be ready, and you can pass emissions and everything. And the stuff in the bottle just smells like, you know, rubbing alcohol or paint thinner or something like that. So I'm sure it's like toluene or some kind of liquid that just helps break up all that stuff. So that's it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. This is a quick video. I just want to get to the nuts and bolts and basics of it. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you have the same problem, let me know. This is a big issue with the 2UZ, Tundra, Land Cruiser, LX470, anywhere from 150,000 miles on up. So take care. I hope this works for me, and we'll move on to the next.